Hello and welcome to all curling fans. We're in Lethbridge, Canada for the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship 2017. The event just kicked off this morning with a few upsets in what is sure to be a dramatic event as teams look to qualify for the 2018 Olympic Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. My name is Sander Ervog and I'm joined by curling superstar Sarah Anderson to add a dash of colour. Good afternoon, Sarah.
Good afternoon, Sander.
For the future game this afternoon, Norway will take on Scotland in Group B here in the ATB Centre. We'll have a look at the teams in Group B. We'll have Bulgaria, Denmark, Ireland and Italy making up the first half of the group. And alongside, of course, we'll have Norway, Scotland with Serbia and Wales. Norway and Scotland probably the favourites in the group. So could be a pretty good start to the event. On the broadcast, as we see the lineup for Team Norway. Male player is Magnus Nedergotten. Female is Kristin Moen Skaslin, and the team is coached by Thomas Løvold.
Going up against Norway is Team Scotland. The male counterpart is Bruce Mount, and the female is Gina Aiken, coached by David Aiken. Well,
there you have it. These two teams definitely have played quite a lot of mixed doubles curling.
Two players here on mixed doubles with one male and one female. There'll be a pre-positioned stone per team per end. There's 5 stones to play per end compared to the usual 8. And there's 8 ends to play and 22 minutes thinking time for each team. Can throw either the 1 or 5 or the middle stones 2, 3, and 4. Players can also switch positions between ends however they'd like, and there's no takeouts allowed until the fourth stone has been played. Also, each team has a power play that they can choose to use throughout the game once, but you cannot use it in the extra end.
Well, thank you for that, Sarah.
Yeah, some interesting rules here in mixed doubles.
Yeah, we'll try and keep you abreast of what is happening. Might be a little confusing to some of our new fans. What could help is knowing that Norway will play the red stones, Scotland will throw the yellow, and there you see the pre-positioned stones out there. Norway with the centre guard, Scotland has the stone back at the forefoot as we're just about to get underway. And it is the female player for Team Norway, Kristin Moen Skaslin, to play the outturn draw. And here she is. Played curling for 19 years, long-time skip of the Norwegian women's team. And where are we looking for this rock to land, Sarah?
Probably aiming for just top button here, trying to get it above the tee. Looking a bit heavy.
She seemed quite on point, and the draw shot challenge on pre-game practice. This one slipping all the way through the rings. Not very close at all. Maybe the ice is keened up a little bit after practice as we have our first look at Gina Aiken, 23-year-old, throwing stones 1 and 5 for the Scottish team. But as you mentioned, Sarah, you might see teams switch it up during games.
Yeah, it's always an option. An interesting strategy to play.
Mine's really nice. Top 4.
This one looking pretty good from Miss Aiken. Just top 4.
Nice shot. Sorry, I just didn't want to let it start coming to me.
And this will be Magnus Nedergotten. Started playing curling back in 2006.
Yeah.
Me.
Me.
I know him quite well. We started playing curling together, actually, so it was quite an honor to be able to represent Norway at the World Men's Curling Championship in Edmonton just a couple of weeks ago. So Magnus has actually stuck around in Alberta for what is about three and a half weeks now.
Long trip.
Yep. Shows to stay put and practice before the mixed doubles. And his fiancée, Kristin, just came like a week ago, joined up, and they've been practicing together in Calgary. So good prep. As we'll have our first look at Bruce Mowat.
Line's good.
The fresh Winter University Games, or Winter University Aid winner.
Where are you?
Picked up the gold medal with his men's team
Line's fine.
in Almaty, Kazakhstan.
Right now. Outside.
Also won the World Juniors last year.
Very successful
Oh, no bump, no bump.
last 18 months for Bruce Mowat. And also representing Scotland at the World Mixed Doubles more than a few times.
Yeah, I believe it's their 4th time here as a team.
Ja. Touch mer. Ja.
So I believe the call for Norway here is to come around on the in-turn, just tap up their own red stone. As you see the flashing green light there, just indicating that the stone has been released before the hog line.
Oppe. Oppe.
Have you ever seen red lights on your rocks at events, Sarah?
I personally haven't red lighted a rock, but I've seen it happen. It's never good.
This is looking mighty close from Magnus. That's a very nice little tap up. Just enough to get shot stone, and minor applause from the crowd.
Or just hat. Don't mind that. Yeah.
Yeah, nice turnout today in Lethbridge.
Yeah, quite a few people in for this draw, even though Canada's not playing. They were playing earlier today, though.
Moving them.
And there was even more people in for that, obviously.
Okay.
I don't mind back line though.
Good dead hack.
Okay.
Middle 8
Yeah.
for 90.
Yeah, 3 seconds to 90.
You could hear
Close.
Mowat and Aiken just discussing some split times.
Hard.
I believe they're using the T-line to hog line split times.
Hard.
So at 2:93 seconds should be
Whoa.
pretty quick for a backroom weight. This one just over curling, catching the center guard. I think that's maybe something you might see happen if you're playing that the forfeit path in practice, and then you tighten up the ice for like a hack shot. You might hit some fresh pebble.
Yeah, and especially just with the one sweeper, it's harder to hold them coming down the ice.
Count tall. Count tall.
Yeah, Team Norway liking the situation here. They're just going to throw the guard on this. I believe they are shot stone, so.
Jeg ville ha tatt litt mindre, men
Okay. Touch mindre da.
jeg hadde fått det.
Enda litt mindre. Jeg er enig med deg.
Der.
Litt til. Ja.
Well, Magnus was top of the stats for male players last year in Karlstad. They had a really good run together. Only lost the one game, which was the first knockout game playing Estonia. Actually had the shot for the win and ended up missing it. Won the rest of the games, finished 9th with a record of 9 wins, 1 loss.
Yeah, earned themselves 4 points for the Olympics.
Yep, have a pretty decent chance of making it there. Do remember that it's not too many spots to get there. 8 teams participating, and host nation Korea has the one, so only 7 spots to get in. We have 39 teams participating in the Worlds this year, so
Only a few.
it's tough to get there.
I don't mind barrier, just a 60 though.
Just because they've kind of closed off the other side. So.
Okay.
60.
Yeah.
Guard for Norway. Just slips into the top of the 12.
Close. Yep.
I believe Bruce Mouts playing a little angled run here off his own. Trying to angle this Yellowstone back onto the shot stone. Does so very well. And Scotland now all of a sudden lying two.
Yeah, great shot.
Skal vi spille litt løst, eller? Skal vi spille maks vann? Her kanskje også? Skal vi sitte der?
There's a red there.
Yeah. Well, she plays any weight out and
Ja,
takes
vi må
off the
gjøre det i
guard
hvert
and
fall.
whatever.
Så rolig som mulig å sitte 2-3.
I think she's just playing the draw.
Okay.
Sitte 2'eren og 3'eren. Eller?
And you know what, something that always catches me off guard in mixed doubles play is how quickly we get down to the last stone. So
Yeah.
Norway with only the one stone left here.
Gå med hack, da.
That's very much a problem. You don't have too much time to tidy things up.
Plan B er så treffe halve 60% for å få med den bak også. På hackback.
Even just bite the foot.
Ganske lik som den dragningen du hadde da.
Yeah.
Første stand. Ja.
So, bit of a key shot already here for the Norwegians.
Vant.
Maybe just flick this one out there a wee bit. And now just making sure to get contact with the back heel, the back of the 12 foot. That doesn't really help them too much. That's going to leave a draw for 3. Probably a little bit too much inside out there with the release there, Skarsvian. So, great start for Scotland. Already lying the 2. This is a pretty freebie draw for the 3.
Don't mind going. Sweet. Really good.
Bruce Mout on the sweep. He's a skip in men's play, but surely he's been hitting the gym a few times himself. And now this is a big carry for both of them. Needing almost just a piece of the forfeit to get there. Just a bit shy, and it will be only 2 for Scotland, but a good start nonetheless. There we have it, 2 points for Scotland after one end of play. We have 7 more.
Positive. Sorry.
Well, welcome back. Second end, just about to get started as we see the umpire placing these stones before the end start. Now with Norway having the hammer, they will have the stone in the back 4, and it's Scotland to play this first draw. Gina Aiken on the in-turn.
Line's good.
Needs to go.
Okay, stay inside, line's good.
So the in-turn for a right-handed player would be a clockwise rotation, as you'll see Stone really only get the curl at the very end. Big finish.
I think we're good.
And by the looks of it, Sarah, I think the ice has been looking pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like they're carrying really well, and curling definitely a good amount helps for mixed doubles there.
Yeah, I think that's pretty key for, especially for mixed doubles, needing that swing. So to come around everything. Jamie Barassa and his team doing a good job by the looks of it. Sometimes you might see the ice be all green at the start of the week in competitions like this, but it looks pretty good already for day one.
Be interesting to see how it changes throughout the week.
Yeah, well, sometimes you might see the ice straighten out a little bit. But we'll see if we can keep the curl up for the next week. Bit of a tap there by Skoslian. Norway lies 2 at the moment.
Line's good. Yep. Oh.
Line only.
Whoa then. Yep, line now, hard. Hard. Yep, lovely. A bit limp. Keep it going. What'd you get?
12.
Look positive, or felt positive as well.
Comes up a bit shy there.
I thought it was nice shape. Jeg fikk det her cirka. Det var litt lang. Nei.
Fire. 5.
Nå køler.
So looking for the corner freeze on that Yellowstone top 8 actually, but
Morgen.
calling this a little heavy, so plan B, maybe come around everything.
7,5. Altså tung egentlig.
Definitely past the yellow. Maybe not ideal. Punches that right in behind the tee as we have a look at the Norwegian coach, Thomas Løvold. Long-time alternate for the Olsrud team. Ended up playing at the World Men's in 2010 in Cortina, filling in for Thomas Olsrud when they picked up a silver medal.
Orange bait size.
Definitely known to throw a few rocks in his past. He's a newly appointed national coach for Team Norway, so he's overseeing both the men's, women's and mixed doubles curling teams.
Quite the job.
Yeah. Well, Norway's been lacking a person like that to take on that role, so it's a great addition to the Norwegian Curling Federation. And he was also coaching the Norwegian team in Edmonton for the World Men's. And here's David Aiken, coach of Scotland, also father of Gina Aiken. There's also 2 other Aiken daughters, sisters of Gina, who's played curling internationally at the World Juniors.
Very strong curling family.
David Aiken himself, a World Junior champ. Back in the 80s, before we were born, Sarah.
I was about to ask you what year that was.
Well, he was 85, but yeah, I believe he's beat Kevin Martin.
Sounds like a good year.
Quite a few red stones building up in the forefoot.
Litt opp.
Norway looking to eliminate a yellow here, as well as try and roll the shooter in. Going to catch the high side and jam it. Not ideal.
I don't mind just that.
Okay.
Just hoping to
If
get
you're
to the
coming up,
inside
that's
there.
fine.
Just roll to the center line.
Yep.
The only good thing is it's definitely opened up the forefoot a little bit. But
I just don't think that one's a danger.
Do you want to come the other hand then?
definitely a chance for Scotland to put a good freeze right in the button.
Yeah. Just right in the tee line.
Yeah, having the option to draw with either turn there.
Line's good. Yep, hard line. Hard line. Where?
Wade's good.
Yep, hard line.
Maybe bumping a wee bit.
Whoa then. Close for line. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Pretty good draw there for Bruce Mount.
Nice communication between the players with the weight and the line.
Slightly closer to 10.
Ut Altan! Det er ikke noe stein i veien inn i boet.
Der.
Backline der sånn, tror jeg blir bra.
So I'm coming after the shot stone here with backline weight. He's trying to tap it out of the forefoot.
Backline.
Yeah.
He used to do alpine skiing back in his younger days, Magnus, so
Quite the sport.
Ja, jeg skjønner det.
not really helping him on this occasion.
Just sit there.
Yeah, right in there.
A little bit narrow.
Det er jo ikke vits i å volde den for deg.
Caught the port, so to speak.
På den siste der.
It's interesting to see how Team Scotland comes down together and sweeps together compared to Team Norway, who does the traditional mixed doubles. One holds, and then they sweep their own.
Yeah, there's definitely different ways of doing that. I'm sure we'll see quite the variety of ways of doing it this week.
Edge that way.
Do you have a preference?
Yeah,
It depends on shot for me.
20.
If I'm throwing an upweight hit, I like just someone to hold a broom. But if it's a finesse shot, it's nice to have someone there sweeping with me.
And of course, for the upweight shots, the sweeping has less effect.
Line's a little big. I think weight's there.
Just going to put another yellow in there. Maybe just try and freeze the pocket of their yellow rock. Not quite getting there. Bit shy for weight. Over curls, and that yellow shot stone is exposed. The question is there a possible double? Score the 3.
Vil 11, eller?
Catch about the third of the shot stone here. Maybe the shooter will catch on the yellow stone on the left as we saw it. Should be pretty close. I think you'll be pretty happy to just peel this through the hole and get your 2. Yeah. Maybe if you get the 3, that's a good bonus.
Du ikke trenger å spille. Jeg tenkte kanskje vanlig er bedre.
Vanlig?
Vanlig. Treffe.
Det virker som det køler litt over linja der, da.
Ja.
So last stone here in the second end. Norway trailing by 2. Good chance to tie up the game. Overthrew her out turn in the first end.
Og det er tikken.
This one also having some curling to do. And it's going to go straight past everything once again. Steal at 1 for Scotland. And
One yellow.
Kristin Månsgaslin maybe having to adjust her outturn just a little bit as Scotland now leads at 3-0 after 2 ends of play.
Feil på fargen.
Igjen. Det ble en til dem, i hvert fall. Same way as before.
Welcome back to Lethbridge, Alberta. The 4th biggest city in Alberta in terms of population after Calgary, Edmonton and Red Deer. It's a very nice place, I have to say. Slightly more hilly than some of the provinces over here. Not completely flat.
Yeah, but wonderful weather, hidden with the mountains, so it's a bit calmer winters.
And this is the newly built MTB Centre, where both the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship and the Senior Curling Championships is being held, with the seniors being held in the curling club next door. So quite a few curlers in for the action this week.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
As we can see, female player for Norway just having a bit of a hard time so far. Missing both her last shots in end 1 and 2. And also coming up all heavy on the shot here in 3.
Whoa. Okay, close. Line's good.
Weight's good.
Line's
Weight's
good.
good. Punch up.
Close.
No, weight's good.
Freeze it. Lock it right in.
Scotland's taking advantage of that, of course. And they're up by 3, but how big of a lead is 3-0 in mixed doubles curling, really?
I'd still say it's probably you're up 2 in normal curling, it's probably up 3 with mixed doubles.
It's about the same, yeah. Then again, there are only the 8 ends to be played in mixed doubles, but it's really hard to play defensive in mixed doubles. You're sort of bound to keep rocks in play. Very hard to avoid. It's always interesting to see how teams, how they play it. I'm sure we'll see some of that later on in the game.
Yeah, it might be easier just to keep on your offensive if it's working well.
Taps things around here. Scotland lies 2. Well, the Scots might just be inclined to throw the guard on this. To see these 2 members of the Norwegian team not really communicating at the moment. They have a tendency to be a little tough on each other when things are aren't really going their way.
Line's okay.
But I've built a lot of experience with each other.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, they're 2 very level-headed players when it comes to curling. Very competitive, so some of that steam comes out. Discard, maybe just over curling for Scotland. And that redstone top 8 will be available for Magnus Nedregotten. It's pretty much the same shot. Just try and get to the face of that red, tap it back onto the O's. Good effort. A little bit more frustration from Magnus wanting his partner to sweep the L in behind the tee lane. That did not happen.
Or we play dead hat on that one and try and roll. Dead hat.
How is, obviously you're former US mixed doubles champion, you play the Worlds. How is communication in mixed doubles curling compared to the four-player team format? Is it different?
I'd say it's definitely different. You have a bit closer bond with the one player. And it's important just to always communicate and trust each other in the process, because it's only two of you out there.
I guess it's harder to talk behind someone back when you're only the two.
Yeah, no gossiping with mixed doubles.
Bruce makes a good shot here. Gets to inside. They're currently lying shot stone. Third and fourth.
Nå spiller vi ganske mye løsere, men ikke det? For å kjøre den helst der.
So Norway will be trying to get to their red stone here on the outturn with just some back ring weight. Try and tap things up, perhaps lie two.
Definitely interesting dynamic with men's and women playing together.
Yeah, it is a little different. I haven't played too much mixed doubles myself. I did play the mixed, four-player mixed World
Did
Championship.
pretty well at that.
Yeah, well, it was nice. There was less anger, I feel. Tried to behave ourselves a little more with the girls knocking about, so definitely a different dynamic as we see Magnus
World champion.
throw a peach. Very nice tap back lies two. You'll see the very nice finish here in and around the guard, even with the back ring weight. It does come up. And when a shot is made, thinks it's easier to communicate again.
Yes, standing much closer together now.
Yeah. As soon as a couple of shots are made and it's looking good, well, then we're friends again. I think that's how it usually works in curling, isn't it? Incommunicado when things are going rough, and then everything is peachy when you score a couple of points.
Yeah, body language is huge.
Well, 100% for Gina Aiken throughout the first couple of ends. We'll see if she can keep those numbers up with this angled run here. Yellow onto red. Does that nicely. It was hard to get both the reds going there.
Yes, very nice shot by Gina.
So maybe looking to keep a yellow in the 8-foot.
Probably a bit more then.
Norway will have the chance to draw for their two. We're going to play the outturn on this. As you see, 25% for Skaslien. Only made one of the first 4 shots in the game. And this would be a great time to make one. Put 2 up on the board and just start all over again. Refresh, reboot. No sweeping from Magnus here, but looks like they have some backing. Just going to rub off their shot, so that's good enough for a deuce. So Norway very much back in the game with 2 points up on the board, still trailing. However, it is Scotland with a 3-2 lead after 3 ends of play. We'll be back. The 4th end is underway. Things move quickly in mixed doubles curling. Scotland up by 1. And they will have the hammer. So Kristin Moen Skaslien with the draw again, coming up all heavy here. Just having a hard time finding her draw weight at the moment. I think by tapping that to the back 12, you're really keeping things open for the team with hammer, namely Scotland. Does this make it easier for the Scots to control the forfeit?
Definitely. You know, you want to spread the play out when you have hammer, easier to score. So she just needs to find her way. It's her first game out here on the ice, so hopefully throughout the game or the next couple, executing a bit sharper.
See, Gina can play a little tap up as well. Actually, enough to sit too, so.
Exactly.
I agree, Gina. Not bad there. Because it's less for Norway to freeze onto. Any stone you put in the forfeit now is more of a sitting duck.
Not too often that the scoring zone is spread out this far.
It makes it harder to steal, I think. Something that Norway would definitely try and do. Looking for a freeze on this, maybe just over curling a tad. Is fully buried behind the guard. So many delicate shots in mixed doubles. You're having to think about the tolerance of shots very often, I think. Sometimes 2 feet lighter than heavy is good. But sometimes if you're 3 feet short, that's terrible. I mean, sometimes there's not a lot of room for error, I think.
Definitely a precise game. Makes it a bit trickier when you have that one sweeper. When you need to be that exact.
Does that mean you need to be extra fit to play this game?
It's a lot of throwing and jumping up and sweeping. I think fitness does help, and I think you do see that teams that are all medaling are spending time in the gym.
A tap up by Gina, again, keeping things a little bit open. Well, that's one way of doing it. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, no time to stick it in the back pocket there.
Yeah, so some players will use gloves to get an extra good grip on the brim while sweeping. No one throws a rock with a glove. It's actually not allowed. because of the magnetic paint on the handle. It's going to react to the magnet strip in the ice for the eye on the hog technology, that green light we mentioned earlier. If you put a glove on, it's not going to work. So you're having to throw it with the naked hand, which I think most players would do anyway.
Yeah, better touch with the weight without a glove.
Looking to come to the inside there, Norway, but gets to the nose, enough to lie two, I think. Or is it the yellow? 1 second shot. You have the younger eye, Sarah.
Looks pretty close to me, but I think it's leaning red.
Litt tung, kanskje? Egentlig ikke. Ganske sterk.
Just about. I think you might see a couple of more measures in mixed doubles curling than in the four-player competitions.
Yes, because you can't hit until after the fourth stone, so you get a lot more rocks in play closer together in the forefoot there.
Bruce Mowat coming after the shot stone here, looking very good. Inside it. Almost rolls too far. This makes it tricky for Norway. If you ever make the hit on the shot stone here, you'll leave the shooter in the open for a possible double for Scotland to score 2 or 3.
Sorry, I did say it's just a tiny bit.
So
Possibly in 4 there.
To 90, so really. Actually, 86. Sorry.
Det gir oss egentlig, det gir oss ikke noe mer. Det gir oss ingenting da.
Ja, men når det ligger sånn, da er det kanskje greit å gi dem på.
Jeg liker å gå for den, jeg. Prøv å komme opp på chat der.
yeah, so you can
Køla her i
see
stad.
if they ever come in the out turn here, hit the shot stone. If you ever roll out in the open, leave a double on the reds for possible 3. What they'll try and do is get to nose so that double won't be available for Scotland.
Kanskje
So
litt mindre med hack.
pretty,
Ja.
it's a tough one. It's an important shot here. So this is when that tolerance comes into play. Well, it can't be too high, roll to the open, but you don't want to be too tight to the guard either and clip it.
Hack.
Ja. Oh,
Skal ha chat, ja.
følg med. Oh. Oh.
Looks pretty close. That was a very well played shot by Magnus Nedregård.
Very nice. Just got it out there.
So double knot on to lie 3 for Scotland.
Ja. Vant da. Dum på at det var.
Sorry, jeg tuller. Jeg trodde at det var siste gang. Så vi kan ha det.
Same weight.
Looks like Scotland's going to attempt pretty much the same shot here. Might need to bring the weight down a little bit, as our red stone is about half buried. Maybe just backline weight.
Okay. You might just need to hit theirs for your last. Right off.
For the back one?
Yeah.
Yep, so just threw that a bit wide there, Bruce Mowat. Gina asking, should we go for the back one? Mowat says yes, but in the end it does over curl for the plan B anyway, and does get the top one, not enough to remove it from the forefoot. So Norway lying 2. That's a bit of a mistake.
What'd you get?
Just miscommunication there.
Those are hard to call sometimes.
Especially when you don't have someone down there holding the broom like in normal men's or women's curling.
So a great chance for Norway to lie 3. If you can ever put this red stone just top of the forefoot and just leave as little room as possible for Scotland to draw to. With a mistake from Jeannie Aiken, you might see a big steal. Do not want to bring this too deep and leave Scotland any backing. Well, it's looking pretty close. Just gonna nibble the button. That's pretty much perfect, I think.
Yep.
Not sure if you can get shot stone by getting to the nose of that rock just thrown.
Or you play that, but I think that's gonna.
That's what Bruce Mount's looking at. Might have to play a cool draw.
Yeah.
Barrier or hack. Hack's probably that.
Choosing the hit here, I think.
I don't think that's a lot for hack.
Yeah, I was taking that for my back ring.
Okay, this is a bit wider though.
Yeah.
So is this a bit of a safe call, you think? If you call the draw, you ever slip through the port, you give up 3. This way, you play the hack, even if you just get the nose hit, you're only giving up a steal of 1.
Yes, you are eliminating that one.
Edge to the right.
It's personal preference, I think, with what you're confident with. Maybe because it's their first game, haven't thrown a lot of draws yet, going for the hack weight hit here.
Pretty tough draw too, I think, though. There's not a lot of real estate. So, really the first time Norway's put
Weight's good.
Clean.
some proper pressure on the Scots. Last stone of the 4th end, up by 1, facing 3. This looks wide, and Bruce Mount trying to carve this rock, the curl, and come off the yellow. Just enough for second shot, I think. So in the end, not too bad of a result for the Scots, even with a poor throw.
Plan B.
Yeah. And with that steal of 1, Norway ties up the game, 3 each after 4 ends, and we'll see both the teams head off the ice for a halftime break. We'll be back with a few highlights from those first 4 ends, and of course the conclusion here in draw 3 in Lethbridge. Well, taking a look at those first 4 ends. Scotland scores 2 in the first. This is Christine Moen Skaslien for Norway, trying to pick the shot stone for a possible score 3, but does not curl enough. Takes out their own, and Scotland steals one up by 3 after 2 ends of play. in the third end, Norway with a great chance to score a deuce back and tighten up the scoreline. After a bit of a shaky start, Scotland finds the forfeit. There will be a score of 2 for Norway. Scotland leading it 3-2 after 3 ends of play. And in the fourth end, another great draw by Norway to add some pressure on Gina Aiken. Looking for the hit and roll off of the red stone to the right. Comes up wide, comes off the yellow instead. A bit of fortune leaves Norway still scoring the one. A steal for them. It's tied at 3 after 4 ends of play. It's pretty much what we expected from these two teams. A pretty tight affair as we see the percentages. Norway just outscoring Scotland by 4%. Not too much to pick from between the teams. It's just down to a couple of key shots. And we're pretty much back where we started. Scotland starting the game with the hammer. And when we come back into play in this fifth end, we will see Scotland with the last one advantage at a tied score.
Prøv å spille litt defensivt nå. Spille de 2 første steinene selvfølgelig. Vi får ikke lov til å gjøre noe annet da, men hvis vi har muligheter til å gjøre en dobbel og prøve å få ut steinene dem, så synes jeg vi burde egentlig spille en defensiv omgang.
Og så har vi brukt over halve tida vår, så nå er jeg litt mer effektiv.
Ja, forstand. Jeg har brukt akkurat under halve tida vår.
Yeah. You just hear Norway discussing tactics, thinking you wouldn't mind playing it slightly defensive here. Saying if we get a double, you know, let's make it. Try and limit Scotland to maybe try and get the force here in the fifth end. Also talking about the time, saying they've used about half their time so far. Norway has just about 11 minutes, so pretty much
Right on schedule.
half their time. Well, you say that, and people, I think teams say that very often, but wouldn't you like to have maybe a little extra time for the latter 4 ends and the first 4 ends?
Well, with mixed doubles, it being so many draws, it's unlike men's and women's curlings when you have some of those quick ends that you're blanking to save time.
Yep. Well, time can be a factor in mixed doubles, and that's you'll see teams trying to manage that. It's hard to communicate, I guess. If you're sitting in the hack, your partner's in the other end of the house. So how much you want to be discussing tactics, I guess you need to trust your partner when it comes to the tactics of the game, don't you?
Yeah, trusting them that they're going to call the right call, have the right line, and you know, you're a team and you make the shots together.
If you're just joining our broadcast, my name is Sander Erdvåg. I'm joined by my lovely splash of colour, Sarah Anderson. Let's bring you the play-by-play here. Our first broadcasted game from the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship. In third session of the day 1.
Yes, I'm sure the players are very excited to get this competition underway.
It's a pretty easy schedule for the teams, more or less a game a day, which is not really what we're used to as curlers. For the most of the year, we play spiels and competitions, or just on the weekend, and you might play 2 or 3 games in a day.
Especially with these games being much shorter and less rocks compared to men's and women's curling. It feels like a short day.
I was talking to David Aiken, coach of Scotland, and he's mentioning how Gina and Bruce won a mixed doubles competition in Bern, Switzerland. It was a 32-team triple knockout competition. They made it straight through to the A final. Losing the A final, dropped down to the B, lost the B final, had to play the C final They won that, and then the remainder of the playoff games, and won the competition. Played 10 games in 3 days.
Quite the weekend.
Pretty rough.
3, 4.
But it's all worth it though when you pick up the win. So I guess one of the challenges for the teams is to figure out what they're going to do in their spare time.
Yeah.
Do you find that hard to find things to do off the ice?
It's good to have a routine. It's nice that, you know, great weather here. You can take a walk, check out the YMCA here in town. But also just being active, sticking to your routines that you do away from competition, and finding time for that here this week.
I know some of the younger players might even have some studies to catch up on. I was never very good at that.
Neither was I.
Just leave that be.
Pause.
Pretty much. As you see, a couple of missed shots here in the fifth end, a bit of clutter in front of the house. Did mention how Norway was thinking to play this all defensive. It makes it hard with 4 guards in play.
Helst gå fart!
Magnus had a great week in Edmonton for the Worlds. Stats-wise, he was ranked 2nd overall, just behind Brett Gallant of Team Canada.
Yeah, how do you enjoy your week there?
Well, I was pretty much sitting on the bench eating donuts the whole week, so it was pretty nice. But might have to hit the gym a little bit this week to make up for it.
Would you like to open it up?
No more Timmies.
3 seconds.
No more Timbits, that's for sure.
Try and bury half round theirs.
A bit more than 3, I think, because it's pretty slow out here, because you're going to have to take quite a lot.
I got 25 for yours.
Okay.
Really like the communication there, talking about weight. Very good between the two.
Nice weight.
Well, the thing I find with this team is they're very much in sync.
Line's really good. Hard.
They're never too hard on each other, I think.
Really hard.
You never really see them break down.
Yep. Corner freeze theirs.
They're always quite calm.
Well,
This one just over curling. But how do you get to the 1-foot here? looking pretty snug.
Yeah, this might be the only shot here.
Yeah, Magnus is easily annoyed at times over minor details. But the call is, in the end, to play the angled run here. This is the type of shot you'll see him make fairly often in practice. But you don't end up playing them all that often in mixed doubles curling. And with no sweepers to hold the line for, it just makes these all more difficult. But you'd expect him to be close with this one. Hard to tell off his facial expressions. Oh, that was...
Works out.
that was something. Not quite what they were looking for. Caught that way too thin. Maybe some of his personal frustration messing with his pre-shot routine.
Might have the opportunity to use that intern there to tap up that red.
So Scotland still lying to 1. I think Scotland will attempt the draw on the out turn here. Right around everything. I think two very technically sound players Bruce Mout and Magnus alike come out the hack very steadily, in straight line like arrows. Well, this one, well, just over curl on Mr. Mout. Does open things up for Norway.
What'd you get?
95.
Thought you passed, wasn't it? Got to the hog line and I was like, oh, it's good.
And if Norway could never just play the freeze on the O, we'll get the force. Maybe even put a top button. You might try and steal here.
Good to remember the goal of the end here.
Is playing the board and trying to score the even ends as important in mixed doubles curling as in the regular format, or is there less so?
I think it's important, especially when you get the option to use the power play, being able to use it in the even ends or how you might like it.
Oh, big mistake here by Christian Skaslien. Comes up a little bit heavy. Slips through the port back of the 12. Maybe a bit of an oversweep by Magnus Nedregotten.
Linja er jo kjempefin. Hadde den bare fått kjøret litt, det du ikke har kostet.
Farten er ikke fin, det er det som er dritt i det.
Last one of the fifth end, great chance for Scotland to score another deuce.
Make sure. Yep. Yep, hold out there.
Maybe with a good sweep from Bruce.
Both heads down.
Oh, I'm not sure if it's going to get there, Sarah. Even with a very hopeful Bruce Mout. Not far off, but it'll only be the single point, so mission accomplished for Norway. Getting the force, and they will have the hammer for the sixth end. But for now, it's Scotland up 4-3 after 5 ends of play.
That's it.
You're fine. I'm not playing very good. They don't talk about it. See the best looking guy out there. That's like She's like her first one. She fucking made that. It's on the very end. I love that dude wears the same. You know our old Serbian. Serbia's in like Eastern Europe. Show them we're going.
Right, so back in action here in the sixth end. Oh, look at that. PP is up on the scoreboard. And what does that stand for, Sarah?
That means the Norway team is using their power play here, so they're going to position their rocks as a corner guard and one directly buried behind it.
And how is that an advantage for them?
It's bringing the play out of the center, and they're going to hope to score 2 or 3 here. Setting up really strong with already having a corner guard and one in the 8-foot, but good tick there by Scotland.
Yeah, so that would be my second question. How do you play against the power play? I see some teams play the freeze. Some might even throw a center guard. I've seen that in the past, but the tick shot on the guard, is that the preferred approach? Or?
That's my preferred approach. They just try to move it over from the corner to the center, getting theirs in the paint, and moving it over enough that now it's not guarding Norway's in the house. So it's very strong play and well played by Scotland there.
Yeah, not allowed to remove any stones from from play, but you can neutralize them. Try and move them over. And I believe Norway's just throwing the guard back on.
Gjerne fighter.
This is slipping all deep, but as you know, Scotland's not allowed to hit the Reds yet.
Yeah, so it turned out okay then.
Pretty nice rule of thumb, if I remember correctly. If you just count up the stones that are in play, if you have 5, it means you can throw a hit on your next one. The 4th thrown stone of every end. And currently there's only 4 stones in play, so no hits allowed. So Bruce Mout will throw the out turn draw around his own yellow.
Nice weight.
Mine's a bit tight.
Easy way to remember it like that.
Yep,
Yep.
just count them up.
Arm line.
This one all over curl.
Okay.
Well,
Not bad.
definitely a nuisance for the Norwegians, keeping the yellows on the center line there.
Ja, du får rulla litt på. Da er det bedre oppover.
They could play a double, but they wouldn't leave the shooter in the house. Could just
Få fart på det.
leave Scotland a double right back.
Hvis det går så veldig hardt, vant.
So I think they're looking to play
Ser riktig ut
just
for
a
meg.
board weight, hit and roll. Try and remove that top yellow and keep the shooter in play. Here's the scores from the other sheets, Sarah.
Denmark's over Bulgaria 7-1. Wales is beating Serbia 8-2. Poland over Netherlands 5-4. And then United States is beating Kazakhstan 11-1.
Pretty solid performance by the US team. Does that please you, Sarah?
Yeah, it's always good to see my home country doing well. Tight game here with yours.
Yeah, well, there's no question.
Da går den andre. Ja.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Norwegians qualify for the Olympics, but then again, I've always liked the Scots, so.
Oh,
Oh, that's just gonna spill for Magnus there. I think he was playing the hit on the top one. I'm not sure if they changed the call while we're doing the other scores. But in the end, at least keeps 2 reds in play with some separation. So a deuce is not completely off the cards at the moment.
created some separation there on those reds.
I wonder if he was playing for the yellow. Not to be biased, but I rarely see Magnus miss by that much. As Bruce Mout now will attempt the double takeout. Very close, but just not enough. And it is Norway lying shot stone. So the deuce very much in play. But where do you put it?
Bra ut på siden der også, men
Hard not to give them a double.
Yeah, and
Ja, det var 2 igjen. Du kan godt ta hit.
if you draw around the yellow on the wing, you might leave Scotland a run double. Draw around the center yellow, you might leave them a run and stick in behind cover in the forefoot.
Yeah, I like going opposite side of the house, back 8 foot.
Yeah, just draw to the other side and split the rings.
Yeah, just make sure it's behind tee.
I think that is the call. It's like you know what you're doing here, Sarah.
Try my best.
Or maybe we just picked up on the Norwegian now and you know what they're saying.
Yeah, lots of good curlers here, so learning from them, and good to always watch top level play.
Oi. Er det mulig å få styring
Calling this
fortsatt?
heavy.
Ja, ja.
Er det for sent, er det for sent?
Uh-oh. Just thinking about rubbing off the top yellow, catching it too late. This one will run all the way through. Another mistake by Nedergotten. Ooh, wheels just coming off a little bit.
Same hand, same weight.
On the sixth end for Norway, the power play
Ja, jeg gjorde det.
not really paying off at the moment. The good part is still lying shot, but there's a fair chance Bruce might just peel it. Big weight on the in turn. No problems there. Very nicely played.
And stuck.
So 2 stones left for Norway, wanting to score with both of them. I guess there's nothing called skip stews in mixed doubles curling.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Skip stews, of course, when the curling team scores 2 points with his or her last 2 rocks.
Hva med?
You might see a couple of them next door, though, in the seniors.
Yeah, sure. There's a good event going on over there. Be interesting to check that out sometime this week.
Well, if Magnus can sink a draw in behind the yellow here, might be enough to put 2 up on the board.
Ja, linje!
Currently trailing by 1. Sweeping for a line here. Giving up on that one, and that's going to be sitting in the open. Scotland with a great chance to force Norway here. Just make that red stone go away. And Norway will have to score their single point. Of course, if they can just make the hit and roll in behind the yellow center line, they will shrink the real estate just a tiny bit for Norway. Bit of a speed wobble from Gina Aiken coming at the hack. Now on the sweep big time here. That sounds like they're very much in control. Or are they?
Oh.
It's going to jam at the back. Oh boy. That's at least going to be second shot.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Bit of a missed line call there by Gina.
Should have tried to go over the top again.
Thought she was all tight.
Should have tried to go over the top.
Oh, you couldn't have swept it anymore.
I know. But I did stop hog line.
You wouldn't have got it.
Norway catching a break there.
Yeah, definitely a chance now to score the 2 after all.
Did it try on the top?
Yeah, they are lying second shot, so they will need to play a hit and roll off the yellow. Just going to catch the inside here.
Pretty much the same shot Gina was just throwing.
You want to, even with the 1 sweeper here, I think you want to hand it to Magnus. But again, I think Kristin Skaslin coming up wide on the out turn, and she will jam just like Gina Aiken. Steal a 1 for Scotland. Again, that out turn hit for Kristin Skaslin being a problem for them. Lost quite a few points on that so far in the game. She's going to have to correct if they want to pick up a win here. 6 ends played. Power play not really working out for the Norwegians. Scotland up 5-3.
Du får hjelpe å sette opp da, Magnus.
Jeg vet jo ingenting. That is correct. I just thought All good then. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, here we are. The 7th end of this game between Norway and Scotland. First game for both teams. Scotland looking the strongest with a 2-point lead here. 2 ends to go. Norway did use their power play in the previous end, only to give up a steal. Scotland still has their power play, but of course you can only use it with the last one advantage, so can't use it right now. But if Norway scores here, you'll probably see Scotland use it in the 8th end.
It's definitely interesting to see how some teams might use it a bit earlier to gain a lead, or some teams hang on to it to the very end.
Yeah, because let's say Norway picks up even 2 points here to tie up the game, then Scotland can use the power play as a more of a defensive move and keep the forfeit open and play it more traditionally. Couple of heavy draws here in the 7th end. I'm not sure if I've seen a draw coming up short for Scotland today. It's a little bit on the heavy side. I'm thinking if you have a strong guy like mine sweeping for it, you'd rather err on the short side and making work.
Leave it late if you can.
Yeah, I only saw
Legs
one
there.
light draw today, and it was
What?
on Team Scotland. It was full 8 foot. Other than that, I don't think anything
Let it
has
come
been
down.
light.
Is the ice
Oh.
really that
Oh.
quick?
Just the freeze.
Maybe you should try and time it.
Sit.
See what we get. This one also coming up a little bit heavy. Leaves a very nice pocket for Norway to freeze onto. Although keep in mind Norway does have the hammer, so they're wanting to score at least 2 points here. There's not a lot of wiggle room in the forefoot at the moment. You might even want to tap the yellow a couple of inches to just align the two.
That'd be very good.
Linje er bra. Linje er bra. Ja. Bra linje. Hold.
Pretty nice there. Little tap. Sets 2. I clocked that to about 14-1, 14-2 seconds, hog to hog. So maybe looking at around close to 14.5 for T-line draws.
Pretty good guys.
It's pretty good. It's generally what you see when you have good ice at the championships, and alongside
Line's good.
some decent curl.
Leave it
I'd
late
say
if
this
you
is
can.
pretty much perfect playing conditions for the teams.
Lock it on. Line's perfect. Line's perfect. Line's fine.
Very nice little tap there. I wonder if this might just be a corner freeze from Norway. Try and put this red stone just on the corner of the yellow stone top 4.
Liten bounce.
Try to angle it away from their back reds. A bit of a setup shot. Calling it heavy though, so this might just be a little tap instead. Starting to really bend on them as well. It's going to tap the yellow stone up for shot stone. That is not a great result for Team Norway. Bit of a disaster, really.
Yeah, looks like Team Scotland will just cap it now.
Hva var det jeg skulle for noe?
Jeg vet ikke trykk. Altså, en trykk som skal skråne, eller når du sa lang, da, så ville jeg ha den.
So Scotland's just going to throw the guard here and throw the ball back to Norway. Say, well,
Wait only.
how are you going to get our shot stone out of the 1 foot?
Line's perfect. Yep, get it. 3. Line's perfect. Just 3. Yep. Hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep.
Just
for
for line. Just for line.
Whoa, silver curling.
Oh, slips into top 8. Even not throwing that rock, it'll be hard for Norway to get the shot stone moving. It's pretty much welded on there.
In a little bit of trouble here.
Question is now if Magnus can see enough of the yellow stone top 12. There's just one thrown by Bruce. And if he can run it onto the red stone top 4 and try and open things up. Doesn't look like you can see quite too much of it.
Se for lite. Den går andre sida I stedet for.
Hæ?
Den røde. Vår I huset.
And I think Magnus just realised that, sitting in the hack, getting a better point of view, thinking can't see enough of the yellow to make that shot, so going on the out turn directly onto Rowan red, and this is quite the bullet coming down the ice. He's going to go past the guard though? No. Just about. No, if the barrier wasn't there, I think Victor Kim might have taken a fall next door.
Or taking out Matt, maybe.
USA playing Kazakhstan on sheet Echo. So there you have it, Scotland with that yellow stone covering the pin. I assume we'll see another guard thrown by Scotland, and then we might have to see some magic being displayed by the Norwegians.
Easy. Whoa. Let it swing a little. Outside. Hard. Swing it hard. Hard. Yeah, hard. Hard. Whoa. 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 Fence.
Well, well, well. What do you do? Do you throw it through? Yes, you do. No shot available for Norway here. Last stone, 7th end.
Didn't want to waste any time.
Nope, just throwing it through. No need to stare at an impossible equation. And they're just going to have to concede that 1 point for Scotland. The only upside for Norway now is they will deny Scotland to use their power play in this game.
Pretty strategic of them.
But they will be trailing by 6 shots to 3 points for the Scots, as we will be back in the 8th end. Back in action here, 8th end of our future game between Norway and Scotland. Scotland up by 3.
I like it.
Okay, line's good.
Back 8.
Just to it. No.
Do you think the scoreline reflects how the teams have played through 7 ends?
I think a lot of there was a lot of crucial shots that varied the score. I think the score could definitely be a lot different if some key shots were made. So definitely 2 good teams here, and it'd be interesting to see how they go throughout the week.
So Norway needing to score 3 here to keep the game alive. Pretty tough when you only have 6 stones. This one ends up back at tee. Now you'd love to just play a hit if you're Scotland, but you can't yet. So
Just come here.
if you can just play a draw here, freeze the reds.
What do you want?
Anywhere around the button area. That'd be pretty good.
The edge of the left scoreboard.
We haven't seen a score of 3 or more in this game. Something you will see elsewhere in the arena today.
I've got weight a
Sarah?
little bit up.
We will
Line's good.
have a look at some of the other scores. I know a couple of the games are
Just back 8.
has come to a conclusion,
Back 8.
and
Well,
we're actually alone at the moment.
right off.
This future game, all the other games coming to a stop.
Okay.
Yeah, Denmark beat Bulgaria 11-1. Wales beat Serbia 11-3. Poland beat Netherlands 9-5, and the U.S. beat Kazakhstan 13-1.
Yeah, a couple of blowouts in this session. I don't think we saw too many surprises. And seeing this game, Norway Scotland making its way to the 8th end, no surprise either. But definitely Scotland with the stronghold here in the final end. But you never know in mixed doubles curling, so many rocks in play. Couple of missed shots and you might just give up 3 here.
The threes are definitely not uncommon here.
This one's just sneaking past the guard. Down onto the pocket. So, definitely some rocks accumulating in the forfeit. As we can hear the rumble, the roar, the kerr. In the arena, it's the ice makers bringing the stones back to the home end. They're pretty much going to have to get ready to do some ice prep for the next session. Fairly tight schedule in the mixed doubles. The next game will be at 6 o'clock local time, as will feature Sweden and China for the last draw of the day. That should be another a good one for the neutral fan. As you see, very nice draw onto the red stones here.
Yes, we were saying how the players might have a bit of downtime, but definitely not the ice makers here at this event.
Well, quite a few volunteers that have stepped up to help here in Lethbridge. It would be impossible to host an event like this without some hard-working volunteers and curling fans.
Yes, a really great community here.
Only the 1 minute and 45 seconds left on the clock for Norway, so can't think too much, but Magnus just saying, we'll just tap it up and see what happens. Great strategy, knowing maybe there's not too many great options here, but they're definitely going to have to try and move that Yellowstone off the button.
Treffer ganske tynt da, så du skal få den på plass.
See what they can do here. It does open up. Forfeit just a tiny bit, but things are looking grim at the moment.
Nice to have a translator here to explain what the Norwegian team is saying.
Not the start they were looking for. Only lost one game last year in Karlstad. Might just start the championship with a loss here to Scotland. Every game so important here. So many teams in the run for the medals. Bruce Moud here on the other hand with a chance for a great start. That's a beautiful little hit and roll. Now you have to think, what's the chances to score 3 here?
They do have those biters in the back, but I don't know how they're going to get all 4 yellows out. Smiles there by Team Scotland. Always a happy team.
No wonder. I think they feel it's pretty much in the bag here. Magnus will throw a firm hit on the top yellow, try and spell as many Scottish counters as possible, try and leave as many reds in play as he can. We'll just see if there's even a shot for 3 when it comes down to the hammer. Doesn't leave the shooter in play, so there's a chance Skalslien might have to play a quadruple on her last one to get 3 on the board.
I'd like to see that.
Me too. Gina Aiken has all the time in the world to throw this, and you can pretty much throw it anywhere. Just thinking, throw it somewhere into the 8-foot and just sit the 4. It'd be pretty impossible for Norway to make a shot for the 4 points.
Just clean. Back four's fine. Just to the back one. Line's good.
And Team Norway will have 1 minute to think this over, see if there is a shot available. I don't think they will even consider it. Handshakes, and Scotland will pick up their first win here this afternoon. Norway will drop to 0-1. If you stick around, we'll have some of the highlights from this exciting game. And we'll see if we can send Sarah Anderson down to have a word with the winning duo from Scotland.
See what they have to say.
Great start indeed for the Scots. Didn't do so well last year, and we'll be looking to for at least a podium finish to see if they can qualify GBR, Great Britain, for the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang less than a year from now. And that's the final score, 6-3 for Team Scotland here in the ATB Centre, Lethbridge, Canada. That's our scoreline for our feature game. Elsewhere, we see Denmark picked up a win against Bulgaria. Wales beat Serbia. And Poland picked up their first win playing the Netherlands. Also the Americans, the Hamilton siblings, took on Kazakhstan and had a pretty solid performance, winning it 13 shots to 1. And we'll take a look at the highlights from the future game, Norway-Scotland. After 2 ends of play, Scotland would be up 3-0. Christian Skaslien needing to adjust her aim a wee bit for this draw. Will find the forfeit. Norway claws back, picks up 2 points. In the fourth end, Norway putting some proper pressure on the Scots as Gina Aiken trying to come off the redstone on the side of the forfeit, throws it wide. Plan B in action, comes off the yellow one instead. A bit of fortune and good communication to salvage the shot. But Norway steals one and ties up the game at half-time. Scotland scores a single point in the fifth end, so they're up by 1. When Norway has a chance to play a little hit and roll to score 2. But this one hangs wide and will jam at the back for a steal 1. Scotland up by 2 after 6 ends of play. And very much the same story in the 7th end. Scotland steals another one. Norway rather having to score 3 to push the game into an extra end, but when Scotland's final stone lands, Norway will realize it will be pretty much impossible to play the quadruple to tie up the game, so they shake hands and it's Scotland picking up the win. 6 shots to 3 final score. We should have a couple words in with the winning duo of Team Scotland, Bruce Mount and Gina Aiken. As you see, the ice makers very much at work in the background, getting ready for the next session. We will have more curling action for you. Sweden-China playing tonight. Here is Team Scotland.
Congrats, guys, on your first win here. How does it feel to be back here at the World's Mixed Doubles Championship?
It's really exciting. It's going to be a great competition, I'm sure. There's lots of strong teams, so it's good to get the first game done now. We've been here in Canada for a while, so it's nice to get started.
Yeah, nice prep here. Team Norway is a top team to play. How are you going to go about in the next games of the round robin?
Just try to keep up the same kind of momentum that we got in the last 4 ends there and take that into, I think it's Bulgaria, Belgium, I'm not sure, tomorrow. It's a B country, so we're against them tomorrow, and I think that's 8 AM, so that would be good for us, just to get the momentum going.
Great, thank you so much. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, that's it for this afternoon's broadcast, but don't go anywhere. You might go and pick up a donut or 2 for the next draw. Sweden will play China at 6 o'clock local time. That should be another good one. Former champion Sweden taking on Ba Dexin from China. Stay tuned here at World Curling TV.